Hey YouTube, it's Jeff at Darkmoon Metals. I wanted to take the opportunity today to just wish everyone a safe and happy holiday no matter what holiday it is that you choose to follow. I wasn't actually planning on making any other videos until after this particular season. I was going to wait until the new year. But I got a phone call this morning that my great aunt had passed away today. Today's the 23rd of December. And it just kind of got me thinking about one of the projects that I really wanted to do. And I really don't have a way to say goodbye because I wasn't around when she passed, but I decided that I wanted to dedicate this project and this video to her. So my Aunt Esma, she had a big heart. And the project that I want to dedicate to her is the Copper Rose. Now, I've seen a bunch of these videos on YouTube, and I can say right off the bat, I don't have half the equipment I'm supposed to have to make this thing. I've already done it, I shot the video, but I redid the intro because I wanted to share my Christmas and holiday wishes, Yule, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever tradition you follow. I just wanted to pass along my holiday wishes to the YouTube community and to my subscribers. But this one's for my aunt, and this is the Copper Rose. And I'm going to take you through step by step on how I made this out of an old water pipe. So it truly is the season of miracles, I guess. Because when I woke up this morning, I had no idea that I was going to be doing this, and I had told myself weeks ago I don't have the tools or the time or the materials to even get started, and here it is. So stick around and you'll see how I went from start to finish with this particular Copper Rose. Basically what I'm going to try to do is take this old copper pipe. Well, it's not too terribly old. I cleaned it up a little bit and polished it up a little bit, but I'm going to take this copper pipe and try to transform it into a rose. The first step is to actually make this into flat stock as opposed to the current form it's in now. So what I've done is taken a small section of the copper pipe and I've put a cut from one end to the other vertically. And the next step is to unroll the copper so I can make it into a flat sheet. I'm going to use a pair of MIG pliers and a pair of needle nose vice grips to see if I can start unrolling this pipe. Let's see if I can get a grip on it here. Alright, once you get it unrolled to about this point, you can go ahead and switch over to a hammer. Now keep in mind it doesn't have to be perfectly flat, and if you get marks on it, that's not a big problem. That's all going to be addressed in the next couple of steps. The next step I did was to take a pair of tin snips and just kind of square it up a little bit, getting rid of all of the jagged edges from the saw. Now you can use a belt sander or a bench grinder to do that. I don't happen to have my belt sander hooked up, and I don't use a bench grinder with a stone wheel on copper or aluminum or any soft metal like that, because it has a tendency to clog the wheel up and shorten the wheel's life. Alright, once you have your copper flat, you'll want to cut it into a couple of rectangles. The size of the rectangle really is not important at this point. And you're going to want to drill a hole in roughly the center of each one of those rectangles. Now you can use a hand drill, a drill press, whatever. I'm just using my drill press because it's handy. And copper is very easy to drill through. The next thing we're going to do is take our tin snips and make a series of cuts around the corners. And then 2 V-cuts in towards the hole. Now again, if you were using sheet copper and not a copper pipe, this would be a little bit easier. This is a little bit thicker than sheet copper. But pretty much what you want is something to look like that at the end. What I'm going to do now is try to thin out the outside of what will be a pedal. I'm going to do that with a small ball-peen hammer. And I'm going to hit it just pretty much trying to stay on the edge to thin out the edge. You want to do the same thing on the other side. And that edge, because it is copper and it's a soft metal, has reduced by just about 1/3, and that's enough for what I'm doing here. This hammer right here is actually one of my father's old auto body hammers. You can use a cross peen hammer to get the effect, but this is what I'm going to use because I have it handy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to start putting a texture in my flower petals. Like so. And that's pretty much what you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Once I got all my pieces hammered out and all my leaf texturing done, I'm going to take a soft hammer. You can use a rubber mallet, a rawhide hammer. Hell, you can even use a block of wood if you don't have a soft hammer. But basically, just come along and flatten this out. And that'll help a lot towards the next step. When you work with copper or just about any other type of metal, as you work, the metal hardens. So what you need to do is anneal it. And all I'm going to do is heat it up with a propane torch because I don't have a forge up and running yet. What I am doing here is making a base. Alright, when you assemble your flower, you want to crisscross, alternate the way you put your petals on. The next step is to flatten them all out. And again, I would not be using a pair of MIG pliers to do this, but I'm using what I got. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim this down a little bit. It is a welding rod, so I can do that. I'm going to come back in with a little ball-peen hammer, and I'm going to rivet this down in place. As you can see, there's a small mushroom forming. You just want to keep on tapping on the outsides of the rod and spread out the metal. Alright, I'm going to start heating up my flour again. I'm using a knife to pry it up. And then I'm going to shape them with my needle nose. Like so. Don't want to overheat it. But now you can see how the flower is starting to form. Now once you get all your petals formed, what you want to do is grab the tops of the petals and roll them back. Now normally, if this rivet was actually a rivet and not a piece of copper rod, it would be a heck of a lot easier to do this and the flower would not be moving around as much. The biggest mistake in this entire project is that I didn't use the proper material for a stem, and right now I'm kind of paying for it. So what I'm going to be doing is probably going underneath this thing and trying to straighten it out that way. But I should be able to save this. The flower itself is coming out kind of nice. I like it. This is going to be for my mother for Christmas, so I hope she likes it. I'm hoping she doesn't actually watch the YouTube channel until she gets it, because if not, she's going to know what she's getting. Sorry, Mom. But we'll see how it turns out.